Body to be global.
Y'all didn't believe in us when we was down, so don't come round when we up. Didn't give it up, was down on luck. We focused up until we came up. Blessings, one for more than we'll ever need now. We got blessings, blessings.
The road I took, it wasn't easy. A couple potholes, I pray the Lord keep me. It's not a secret, I live up all the teaching. It's proof that the Lord will never leave me. I truly believe it. Some people talk but they don't have faith. Them non-believers, they just living off of God's grace. And then them dog days make a coward wanna part ways. But they don't do what God says, they choose the hard way. But then they wonder why I'm so blessed. But they were satisfied when a nigga showed stress. Nevertheless, I hold a lot of weight up on my chest. I'm kinda glad that they left, cause they might make a mess. Some of these people really something else, cause they just want the benefits, they don't wanna help. So send them on their way, send them to the left. I'ma tell a nigga step, cause it's nothing player.
Y'all didn't believe in us when we was down, so don't come round when we up. Didn't give it up, was down on luck. We focused up until we came up. Blessings, one for more than we'll ever need now. We got blessings, blessings.
I took a major loss this year. My OG, the boss of the field. Pain still ain't stopped. They tried to sneak me from the real. You don't know how that feel, for real. But that's how it is. You see in life, it ain't no side bids. We gotta duck the fucking vibe. Second chance for you to try again. My Satan's on his job, that's a higher man. Ain't nobody higher than, but depend on the man. That's a messiah, man. See, they don't understand, it's a bigger plan. Niggas be tripping, they be playing. He gon' come back again, gon' walk across this crooked land. Lead this world a shaking land. Better believe it, you can book it, man. I took his hand, cause Satan coming at my fam. My fake friends don't care, they don't give a damn. So I'ma give him my glory, tell y'all my story. Cause I'm a man, 10 toes, so I stand with my man. Can I get an amen?
Didn't believe in us when we was down, so don't come round when we up. Didn't give it up, was down on luck. We focused up until we came up. We got blessings, one for more than we'll ever need now. We got blessings, blessings.
God, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me. I even appreciate the struggle that you put in my life, because it made me a stronger man, for real. You dig? Oh yeah.
Increased assets.
The time is ticking, your time is up. That's all I know, that's all I know. I stay on go, that's just all I know, all I know. That's just all I know, all I know, all I know. All I know is to stay on go. That's just all I know, all I know.
Everybody wanna ride, everybody wanna slide, but nobody wanna die. When they kill a few in the eyes, that's when they tellin' the lie. Everybody wanna ride, everybody wanna slide, but nobody wanna die. When you and them killers collide, ain't nobody by your side.
This drop, it makes me feel like it's the afterlife. Looking back at the stage that I done mastered twice. Coming straight up out the air like I crashed a flight. I'm from the jungle where a square wouldn't last at night.
Go ahead, let that late night ride, cause later on you gon' take that ride. That bad day you had, I'm gon' make that ride. Shit. See, we both work hard, so we gotta make a little time. And no time for the fuss and fight. So let your hair down, cause you must get right.
If this was a movie, this shit is a thriller. 6 niggas and you gotta figure out who's the killer. Terrorizing and horrifying and spectacular. To Rick the killer, who is it?
Black Sector Mafia. It's B-Sec Mafia, you know it's torture. I treat the cypher like a half-lit swisher. I'm about to smoke a portion. Yeah, so what you call it then? Cracked open the seal on this Mafia shit for the 3rd installment. BM, let's get it.
The Mafia, we run them off. Spitting COVID bars, bitch was born to call. Face
so demanding. But through my highs and lows, you still here standing. I'm fucking
Now what I'm gonna do with you? What I'm gonna do with you? Listen, when I touch down, it's a round of applause that plays off in my head. I'm feeling like this my theme music, pulling up on the scene, cool, and this is not a dream, but I feel like I'm floating now, and this should be my theme music. Time to put it in motion now. Come on, Black Shake the Mafia.
What's happening? What's happening? What's good, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Appreciate y'all for coming in. See my brothers in the building. Got Crucial K in the building. Dots in the building. What's going on? Marley 13, Uncle Charles. The Lioness is in the building. Street Doctors in the building. What's good, fam? I fuck with your channel hard, bro. Keep putting out that work, man. If y'all haven't subscribed to Street Doctor page, man, go subscribe, man. I love his delivery, the way he put the information out. He put out the legit information, but he give it to you in the street fashion. You feel me? Y'all subscribe to the Street Doctor. RJ's in the building. What's going on, RJ? Sorry I fell off the other day. I had a situation, but just want to tell you my apologies for falling off the way I did, man. But you know, it's all love. Support RJ. Conversations Living Room with RJ. Subscribe to his channel. You can drop your link in the chat too, bro, if you want to. Street Doctor, I think you can drop yours as well. I got you as a mod. I think I got you as a mod. Let me double check. If not, I'll make sure I get that dropped in the chat. Now, I wasn't even gonna go live. I was just chilling, working on some music. I don't actually talk to Lorraine about this today. Y'all seen the little story I put up on the video I put up in my stories, or they call it shorts on YouTube. You know, with Grandmaster Jay and the three faces of justice is what I call them. You know, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and newly added Breonna Taylor. I put that same video up on TikTok. Lorraine, the comments haven't stopped. It is so many people that's hating. On what? Are you hating on GMJ? Are you hating on the fact that Breonna Taylor got added to this list of people, black people who got justice? Hers ain't solidified yet because they still got to go to court. I understand that. But I've been getting nothing but hate messages all on my video. And I'm getting tired of this shit. Like, come on, man, for real. Like, if you don't like the fact that we got justice, go kill yourself. But if you hating on GMJ, for what? God damn, go get a life. Stop hiding behind that goddamn keyboard, man. Because you know if you was in the street, you get the fuck slapped out your ass, man. Come on with that, get them games, man. That shit right there annoys the fuck out of me, man. Everybody know me, man. No, I ain't racist, man. God damn. I'm talking about these messages won't stop. I ain't taking the video down, though. I don't give a fuck what they say. Yeah, they big mad, bro. Yeah, they big mad. Now that they done found out them people in Louisville got down corrupt, they need to let GMJ loose now. Shit. Hating ass motherfucker. My bad, boy. That shit right there just is aggravating the hell out of me. Every 5 minutes is a negative comment. Oh, this a poster of a wanted poster that you got in this video. Man, go kill yourself. Go kill yourself. Every last person in that video lost their life. Come on, man. Damn, people, there's some evil motherfuckers in this world, bro. There's some evil motherfuckers in this world, man. Let's go to the next jam, man. Regulate.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Mount up.
It was 94993. A little mischievous, badass me. I witnessed my first bloody murder in these streets. Said I'm surprised on myself ain't P. I'm only being honest, don't laugh at me. I seen a few things a little kid shouldn't see. Traumatized, you damn right, my mind fucked. Bird is on my back, I walk with a hunch. Childhood rough, so fast I grew up. You run those streets, your time will speed up. Raised by hustlers that got skied up. The young boy of the crew rolling weed up.
I told him get a 50 Henny in a box of raps. I do my dance when I shimmy, bitches might collapse. I'm feeling good in my Dickie suit, starched and pressed. Call my nigga Port City cause he ain't done yet. What's up?
My old head gave me a deuce fever. That's a 2.5 nickel plated heater. Told me only use it when necessary. And don't ever give out no damn commissary. I nod my head and agreed, yes indeed. I said no doubt OG and took heed. Said boy you a fast learner, a rare breed. Now be careful with that trigger hairy. A lost boy out here, no Tinkle Bell Fairy. Used to mix naughty head gin with cranberry. Nice guy, but when I flip, shit scary. My price high, cause my coat whiter than Mayberry.
Plotting on a triple beam scale with some 12-toe skis. I put my Ken Griffey's on, take a swig of this Remy. It's not a day that goes by, I ain't getting this screw. One time be sick, my Pierre, that shit real.
Respect comes first and the money is secondary. Stand on your word, cause a liar get you buried. First and the third, I felt like Wayne Perry. Carved up a bird like Thanksgiving came early. Playing cat and mouse with the cops, Tom and Jerry. Wear my wedding band to this game, I feel married. Please forgive me, mom, I know I left you worried. I was a bad boy, no Marcus or Mike Larry. Shit.
I can't forget how I came in the door. Cause life's a bitch.
Things will never be the same again.
But they forget how I kept it so real. I can't forget. No.
I'm floating on a whole new level. I'm digging up the golden era with my shovel. Cruising with my foot on the pedal.
The 80s be the babies and the 90s be the rebels.
Raw truth, I bring rhythm and poetry, and boss brings the harmony. Talk to him.
If you know like I know, you don't wanna step to this.
Step to this.
It's the G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist.
Mafia shit.
If you smoke like I smoke, get you high like every day. And if your ass is a buster, ramming on it in your face. I can't forget how I came in the door. Cause life's a bitch and it will never be the same again. But they forget how I kept it so real. I can't forget, no, no, no.
Always going too far, and you don't have to tell me why. Why you go, and why the game is through? If this is what's real, if this is what's true, tell me talk over.
Forget when I didn't love anymore. Things will never be the same again. I can't forget how you made us feel.
Yeah, that was Regulate 2.0 by Port City featuring yours truly and the homie that's on the panel with me. Why Jizzle? What's good, fam?
Shit, what's good with you?
Cooler, man. Trying to stay sane, man.
So what's the outrage about? Like, what? It's because the picture, I seen that picture you made with the short, I guess. So is that what you uploaded on TikTok?
Well, I did a I guess you call it a short. You seen the short or you seen the picture that was on my community wall?
I think I just seen the community post.
Yeah, well, I did a little short video with a song called "Ready for War" or whatnot. With that picture and like two or three other pictures of GMJ and NFAC members. You know what I'm saying? Just with music playing. You know what I'm saying? You know, give him a shout out, man, because this man put in a lot of work. And those same people who killed Breonna Taylor, the federal government found them guilty when the state didn't. You know what I'm saying? So they arrested their ass. So and they found out there's some corruption going on because they lied. They had no business being at Breonna Taylor's home, even though they said they had this warrant and they went to the wrong house. They didn't even get that warrant legitly signed. They wasn't even supposed to be there, period, because they ain't had the warrant signed. So they took the people's lives, took that lady's life, and got away with it. Now the feds done got involved, and now they went and picked them up. So shit, you might as well free GMJ then. It's the same people.
The Louisville, you talking about the Louisville state police or whatever.
Yeah.
So what people saying though? Like in the comments, you said they coming at you in the comments about the shit.
Yeah, I blocked them all. It was like 5 of them, and like it was some people, of course, they liked the post, but they ain't say that. They just liked it. But one of them said that picture is a wanted picture, a wanted poster, saying, you know, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd was a wanted poster. And then one other person said, when you people gonna wake up and start following this idiot, it ain't the white people y'all need to be running from. I'm like, man, get the fuck off my shit, bro. Come on with this shit, man. And then somebody says, is this a comedy skit or something? I'm like, for real? For real? Like that shit started to annoy the fuck out of me. I couldn't even focus.
That type of people like that's when you say, well, shit, you wanna get some smoke out of it. Come to my YouTube. We could chop it up. We could debate this motherfucker live. Shit.
Man, you know, if them type of people disrespectful, you know, man, my attitude, that shit. I be trying not to go that route, man, for real. But yeah, man, like, and to be honest with you, it gotta be hate. It gotta be hate and you know, ignorance, man. And my mom always say, don't argue with a fool. So I'm not gonna argue with them. You know what I'm saying? If they're to put up a good argument on how they feel about whatever the case may be, then we could have chopped it up. But don't come here talking, niggas, this is a comedy skit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Well, shit, that's social media, man. Let's say I guess if you're looking at it from the cup half full, shit, at least they even commented something, because shit, for the way Facebook seemed like people be on their mute. Like if it ain't done, like, you know, shit. So I guess I don't know.
I guess if you want to look at it that way, it's because, you know, to be honest with you, you said a mouthful. The people who really didn't like the post said something. The people that did like the post didn't say nothing.
Right. Well, yeah, that's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be.
And it's crazy. And I ain't talking about the people on YouTube. I'm talking about TikTok right now, because my people on YouTube, they do comment on the post, especially the supporters. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I just look at it like, if you don't agree with it, keep it fucking moving. Keep it moving. And you know, on TikTok, anybody see your shit. It don't matter. Anybody see your shit, and they gonna comment whether they friends with you or not.
And some of them posts, man, if they end up hitting that FYP, the For You page, man, you could have, say if you got 50 subscribers on TikTok, you might, if you catch that one certain video that end up on that FYP page, you'll have all your videos will be like 100 views, and then you'll just have one just go to 80,000 just out of nowhere, because it hit that certain, I guess, algorithm and hit on that FYP page. And that's all it takes, is that one video to start this like a chain.
I never heard of that. I ain't real.
Yeah, and also they say the shorter videos from like 7 to 15 seconds have a bigger chance of reaching the FYP page.
Okay.
Like mostly you don't see videos 60 seconds on the For You page, you know, because that's not what they, I guess, their whole platform is built around quick little videos, witty little videos, you know. So they're gonna put up the 8-second videos, 10-second video. That's what you mostly see on the For You page.
You know, okay. I'm gonna have to look into that because, like I said, I'm not familiar with it. I want to read this comment that I see up here. RJ says, in my opinion, Breonna Taylor was a victim of her boyfriend's actions. You want to explain that, bro? In the meantime, what up, John Q?
And you know the crazy part, I've heard that same narrative a lot, actually. Like,
what did he do?
That's that. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, brother. That's what I'm. You know, a lot of people out there are saying that you know that same thing what RJ just said in the chat.
I mean, they wasn't even supposed to be at that house.
Yeah, so that's the part for me that's like, can't really say. I don't know.
If you go from the top to the bottom on how it happened, it still goes right back to them. So you can't put no blame on nobody but the top. The person who was not supposed to be there. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to say what he did caused her to die, no, it's what they did because they shouldn't have took their ass there. They went and got it. They went and I guess illegally got some warrant signed. For one, that's the first step, which they shouldn't have done. And then they went to the wrong house.
Right.
Mistake number 2. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, that's just like, you know, when the police pull you over, and they give you this excuse. Oh, we had some break-ins in the neighborhood, and we just saw your car pull in somebody's driveway.
Man, I actually had that happen to me on. I was riding a bike. I was probably about 16. And I was riding a bike, and they said there have been some bike thieves, I guess, in the neighborhood. They pulled me over on a bike, bro. I was like, man, yeah, they sure will use that though.
Yeah, they will. You know what I'm saying? And you have to take it for face value because a lot of us just feel like, nah, you just fucking with me because I'm over here in this white neighborhood. That's all. That's why you fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? But I was talking to my homeboy. He was telling me about a video where a young lady got pulled over by the police for something like a similar reason. She pulled in somebody's driveway to back out and go a different way because she went too far.
Right.
And the police saw her and they pulled her over. You matched the script. No, the fuck she don't. She got out the car snapping. And I was thinking, like, you know, yeah, maybe she shouldn't have did that, blah, blah, blah. But think about it. You seen the video when Boosie went to snapping?
You talking about on the police?
Yeah.
I think I seen a clip of it.
That man was tired of that shit.
It was a long video though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it. That one Law and Crime Network, I think, uploaded the full footage of that.
Yeah.
I was like, golly.
I know a lot of times I say, man, we have to minimize our chances of getting shot when we get pulled over by the police. But for people like Bootsy, and it could have been this young lady that I was speaking on earlier, she probably was fed up, like, I'm sick of this shit, and they lose it. Like, people get tired of being fucked with for no reason, and everybody have a breaking point. And I was on Miss Dana live yesterday, and she's a spiritual woman, God-fearing woman, and this man keep bothering her. And she snapped like, I'm sick of this shit. Bring your ass on. You like, people have that breaking point, and people don't understand this shit. Like, enough is enough. I don't know, man. We're gonna hit another jam real quick. I ain't gonna talk y'all head off. First, let's.
Damn, that shit look good. Hey, do your dance, girl, I'm on that. Real life
freak, I can tell. Throw that back, yeah, I'm on that. Goddamn, that shit look good. Do your dance, girl, I'm on that. Real life freak, I can tell. Throw that back, yeah, I'm on that.
I want that, so I'm on that. Put the chocolate in her, that's a Kit Kat.
This is
Arm & Hammer in this.
I hit the club with a big bag, like what a chick said. Too many niggas on the floor, we gotta fix that. I seen more chicks popping up at a kickback. Well, I'ma light this bitch up like a lit black. So sit back, the song for the big bag. I see a bad little breeze, gotta get there. Shit, yeah, I'ma holler, you can sit there. Cause I don't know how many models I'ma get jacked. Bottle at the bottle, watch the pretty models follow me. Be jerking at the party, after party, they gon' swallow me. I'm sorry, let me stop this, I'm just geeking like a rocket. If you ain't speaking on the top, it's sorry, baby, I can't holler at you. Speaking about a dollar coming out, it's not a problem, cause I'm trying to make it holler. If you want, then you can follow. I can be your baby father for your throat. I load you up until you choke. And tell my driver, let's go, let's go. If you look real good and you keep that body looking right, this is your night. If you got that bag and you spend your money, you can spend it how you like. Have a good time.
I'm about to make a toast. I put my glass up, she put her ass up, so I threw some cash up. She got her own bag in the back of that dump truck, like the boys in Big County. I'm trying to ride a big dump. She can get what she want. I give her what she need, and then her head go up and down like she got a sneeze. Then I'ma bless her. Shawty already blessed her. God already blessed her. And me, I'm just trying to catch up, like an interception. I'm just trying to catch her. I'm hot dog, no ketchup, and I'm just trying to undress her. Release some pressure. We taking every measure, and if I gotta put the work in, then put me on schedule. Well, big girls need love too, skinny girls need a hug too. You can be 42, 52. I done seen them look 32. I don't guess that clean. I'll be in between. I'll take a milk and dive in a switch. In this.
Real good and you keep that body looking right.
Keep it body looking right, baby. Body looking right, baby. It's your night, baby. It's your night.
That bag and you spend your money how you like.
You can spend it how you like, baby.
Good time.
We gon' have a good time, baby.
Loving how she feeling the vibe. I took one good look, it's going down tonight. She winked her eye, caught her strutting in about 11 o'clock. One time, is you ready or not? She said, I got all night. No red wine, cause I got on white. Yeah, just my type, it's going down tonight. Tonight. She got her high heels on. Loving the way she moves. Loving the way, loving the way, loving the way. Grown folks in the building. And she had a long week at work, she tryna freak and flirt. I can't blame you, do what you do, and I'ma do me, is that cool? Cool, she said, yeah, I'm just tryna have a good time. Come on, one time.
If you look real good and you keep that body looking right.
Keep it body looking right, baby. Body looking right, baby. It's your night, baby. It's your night.
That bag and you spend your money how you like.
You can spend it how you like, baby.
Good time.
We gon' have a good time, baby.
If you look real good and you keep that body looking right.
Keep it body looking right, baby. Body looking right, baby. It's your night, baby. It's your night.
That bag and you spend your money how you like.
You can spend it how you like, baby.
Good
We
time.
gon' have a good time, baby. Have a good time, baby.
Yeah, have a good time. Featuring my homies, my brothers, Crucial K, YJ the author. Everybody who in the building I might have missed, man. Welcome in. I tried to catch up. I see it's a lot of people that fell in the building.
Well, Miss Lorraine got a new channel.
No, nah, I know why.
Yeah, it looked like she got a new channel, or she changed the name, but I don't see her with a wrench either. So that's why I said maybe she got a new channel. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? That ain't. I don't think that's Miss Lorraine. I don't think that's Miss Lorraine. That's another Lorraine.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's. I know that I seen that Lorraine as well. I don't think that's the Muhammad.
Okay. All right. I'm looking. I'm like, damn, she ain't got a wrench. What happened?
Yeah, that ain't out Lorraine, but I know her.
Okay.
Miss Lorraine. Lorraine, yeah, I know she'd have been in here by now. So
Yeah.
But,
So what you think? I thought it was gonna be some smoke, man, between you and Port. I heard y'all going back and forth this morning. What you think of what he was talking about?
Man, like I said, man, and I share this with y'all since y'all we live. We were talking about conspiracy theories, and he had made a statement saying that all conspiracy theories are rooted from the truth. And most of, he didn't say most of, I'm trying to think exactly how he worded it because Port is about wordplay. He said, he said they all have came out to be 100% true. And I was like, oh no, hell no, that ain't right. And then I had brought up what was it? We were talking about the earth being round.
I think you brought up the Loch Ness first.
Loch Ness Monster, yeah. Loch Ness Monster and the Bigfoot. I say, well, no, this is how it went. Then we was talking about cloning. We know that they can clone things. They probably clone people. I said, we all know that. So to me, that's not a theory. But I said, people have now said that they've cloned Rick Ross, they've cloned Gucci Man, they've cloned Kodak. I said, prove to me that that's true. And that's when he went and found that video about Gucci Man. And then he was like, see, you prove what I'm trying to say because you said the cloning part is true. And that's the root of it. So I said, okay, so what you're saying, the root of the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot is the fact that we can see. Because that's the term that you just took from the cloning and Rick Ross, Gucci Man. The fact that cloning is real, that's the root and that's true. Okay. So Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, somebody said they seen them. So the root is the fact that somebody can see. How would we ever know that they exist unless we see the same shit that they saw? So that's what I'm into it,
yeah. They Port and Dot too. He gonna say we indoctrinate. He gonna say you indoctrinated. And see, I and actually I don't know. I don't try to dispel so-called conspiracies. I don't try to dispel them. I entertain them actually. Because I mean, I don't know. It's you can be indoctrinated. It doesn't mean that you just follow something just because it's popular. It's because that's I could say someone's indoctrinated who believes in flat earth. Like you're indoctrinated with flat earth rhetoric. I could say the same. Exactly. It's like, so I don't know. I kind of just look at all of them. I don't really try to debate too many conspiracies. I'll entertain the conversation, but I don't really just, and you can call it fence, what they call it, holding up the fence, like not picking a side type of thing. But for some of these conspiracies, I really, it doesn't really move me to try to prove it either way. But one thing I will say is with the whole flat earth discussion, I do think what's interesting is how maps are made, just in general, just on a geography, like just how they even come about, these different like the Mercator, or I forgot the name of the map, Mercator, and they got all these different scientists who've made these maps, and they've done it on all of these different calculations. But that one map that a lot of people, that Mercator map, I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm sure I'm not saying it right, but it's something like Mercator, the Mercator map, which a lot of people use. It basically makes all the white countries look like they're big, like it makes their countries look bigger, basically, type of thing. Because if you take Greenland and then you take Africa and you look at them on the map, they'll look the same size. Like don't know. It's weird though. I just think it's all interesting though when it comes down to it, you know.
But they can say, okay, he's indoctrinated. But if this is what you were taught all of your life, which we all were, and then I guess people in that third eye start opening, and social media came about, the internet era came about, and people start seeing a lot of things because we know they ain't go to no library and learn this shit. They to the internet and learn this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't call it indoctrinated. I think that's what you were taught. It's just like, and I'm not gonna go into it, but it's just like religion. As a kid, you was taught this, you was taught that. So I guess you could say you're indoctrinated because there's no God or whatever. No, it's just what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about the masses. It's about me respecting, my family, my ancestors who taught me this. And when it goes to education, then yeah, a lot of us feel skeptical about the things that they teach us and the things that they leave out, that they don't teach us.
Right.
That we have to go find out for ourselves. So
that's what goes, because that's obviously, I mean, yeah, we agree that I think we can all agree that we were taught things that, weren't 100%, and things were left out that were 100%. So it's just, I guess, it's just a matter of going back and seeing what logically makes sense to you after weeding the bullshit out, type of thing. Is it? So what?
Go ahead.
Nah, because what was I gonna say? Because yeah, it's like I'm a damn. I done got thrown all the way off. Go ahead, man.
The bullshit. But let me ask you this, then. Maybe this will come back to you. What do you think about the Earth? You think it's round or you think it's flat?
I mean, I'm the type, yeah. So that kind of picked me up where I was left off there with the whole makes sense. What makes sense to me?
Right.
Just what makes sense to me. Not looking at any of what I've been taught. Not looking at anything or any geography class or any type of science that I've been taught. When I wake up and I look outside, the sun is a circle, the moon is a circle. So to me, logically looking at it, what would make me? I would need some hard evidence because my eyes are seeing two circle things in the sky. So my eyes would tell me that what I'm on is probably like what that's on. It just has a different environment.
Okay. So I think when it comes to Dot and his beliefs and the world is flat,
I wish we had him up here, but go ahead.
He was in here earlier. I guess he probably was.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I brought this whole thing up because I was trying to bait Port.
Bait him in here.
Bait him in here one time. Yeah, but go ahead.
But I think with him, he don't believe in gravity. You know what I'm saying? So if he says the world is flat, then I think that it goes hand in hand with his belief in gravity. But can you just picture a big ass mass of land just floating in the goddamn air? Hell nah. It makes more sense for it to be round, and of course to believe that gravity is what keeps us in attached to the earth. Because if it was flat, that means there's an end to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That you could just fall off. You feel what I'm saying? But when
like I was saying earlier, there's a rebut to everything that you're saying when it comes to the flat earthers. Because that's the first thing a lot of people say. Well, where the water go? Is it a big waterfall and we losing water the whole time? Like, but there'll be, there's an answer to every. But with all these conspiracies, that's how that's how it is. It's like a person can argue one side, and there will be one person in the world that can break down what he said, and on the round earther side, that there's a person who can get broken down by a flat earther on everything he says, kind of. So I don't know. That it is what it is.
I don't know. It's like I don't know whoever the person was, the first person was to question it. I'm pretty sure he did a documentary or she did a documentary about it, and it passed it on to one person, next person, and that's when people start questioning. And now, like I said, you got the internet era, people got access to seeing this type of shit, and now they question everything that they were taught. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I guess it's pros and cons to everything, but I think to a certain extent, I do think that's a good thing that we are like that. That people are like that in general. That we don't just take what's been handed to us, type of thing.
So of course, conspiracy theory pretty much is an organization, supposedly, that that is in control of things or events or circumstances that happen. And black people, we call it they. They doing this, they doing that. You know what I'm saying?
The man.
So think about it. If it was something that they wanted to keep from us forever, then why would they even allow? Because since they got so much power, right? Why would they even allow the internet where people are uploading information to a worldwide net? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that power, and then when I say they, I feel dumb every time, because it's like every time I say they, just put some air quotes up. So
I got you, bro.
So if they I don't believe that they have that much power, as because anybody can click the upload button. It's like it kind of goes into this whole big pot of information, and it's like I don't really think they have the power to stop information like that.
Well, if you have, I don't know if you ever heard of the 13 families. They supposedly, have power of 99% of the world. And 1% belong to, I guess, the rest of the world. I don't know. But if they own that much, if they have that much power, why wouldn't they? Why couldn't they? How couldn't they stop it?
Yeah.
I'm just asking because, I done read about the 13 families. You know what I'm saying? I just found that out last year. Having these conversations with New, watching, L. Dot when he got there roasting somebody and he had these conversations. I learned a lot of shit. I'm coming on the panel, and I'm never closed-minded to anything anybody try to tell me, but it has to make sense.
Right.
It has to make sense.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it. If it just doesn't feel right, if it don't make sense, man, then I got a question. I got to start asking questions.
Right.
And what Braves Club said before Popular Eat the World did believe that the earth was, and so at a certain point, the masses of the world did think that it was flat. So at some point there would be a switch, and that's just it happened. It's at a certain point people are like, nah, hold up. And I think
you got to think about it. People would think that the world is flat because we're walking on a flat surface. You know what I'm saying? That's just ignorance on the behalf of us who don't have access to these high-powered cameras and telescopes and all this type of shit that can see shit. So I'd have said the same thing.
Yeah. Well, all in all, like I said, hey, my bill's still coming. Rather, I still got to pay my bills, whether it's flat or whether it's round. My bill's still coming. I still got to survive, which way it is. It's just interesting sometimes. Touch on it.
It is, and I just want to say this because I seen this on Papa Duck page. The guy who is sending information to or whatnot. He had made this statement, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, because a lot of people try to come up with ideas on how to gain power back or defeat the system. And he said, man, pay rent. I done told y'all, if we come together and just don't pay rent. I said, how is that gonna work, bro? How the fuck is that gonna work? You know what I'm saying? He feel like we being shitted on, and all of us. I didn't.
So if
I
we
ain't-
don't pay rent, then that what is it gonna do? Like now, see, I'm not gonna completely throw that whole. I'm not gonna completely throw it away because say if they had an election and not a black soul in the 50 states voted for either president. Would that make either side, be like, hold on, well, we really gotta listen to these people now because they didn't even participate in our system, type of thing.
You said if we didn't vote for either,
Yeah, I'm basically saying if there was a presidential election after Biden's whatever's coming up in the year 20 whatever, if every black person in the 50 states didn't vote at all, what would that, how would that?
Oh,
would that make people come to the round table?
I don't be honest with you, man. When you talking about voting, I never, and I'm gonna say it. No, I don't vote. I don't vote. Do I have the right to vote? Yes, I do. I just don't feel like my life has changed. Maybe gas prices went up or something like that. I just don't feel like whoever get in the seat, we can't control what they do. Whether they say they're gonna do something and they do it, or they lie to us and don't do it, and they go a whole other route.
Right.
I can't control what they're gonna do to us anyway. I'm gonna just keep living my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They say your vote matters. I understand that. But now I'm starting to see people wish Trump was back in the goddamn seat. That shit blows my fucking mind. And I hear shit like this, and this is what trips me out. Well, he kept it real. At least he ain't lied to you. Oh,
yeah, that's the major. Usually, when you see a black person who is a Trump supporter, that's the main thing you hear him say. That's the first thing you hear him say is that, well, at least he's real he stays true to himself and who he is. He's not putting on a front or whatnot. So they, I guess, respect him for that.
They just choosing the lesser of two evils, bro. That's all that is. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's why some people could hate me. I didn't even vote for Obama. I was very eligible, and it's people like Oprah who would say I'm stomping on the graves of my ancestors who fought for the vote to right. Well, I'm like, well, you can fight for an idle cause. That is possible. So. I don't know.
Let's hit this song here. This song got a lot of meaning to it right here on what we're discussing.
Kind of hoping someone to get triggered and hit that link.
That ain't gonna happen.
Stay lane, man. Run. Keep running. That's right. Yeah. Keep running. I'm trying to stretch my legs, spread my wings, let a nigga breathe. They try to tell me my world is flat, so I won't leave. They feed us alcohol and drugs and will harass we breed. Trap you in that backward cycle, you cannot succeed. This is only the surface, believe me, shit get deep. I'm just a poor righteous teacher, quiet please as I preach. Distract you with material shit, rock you to sleep. Replace your faith with doubt, you too pussy to leave.
That's real. In my mind spinning on this hamster wheel of confusion. No filter, I done took the mask off. Fuck it, I'm only human. People looking like they never been through it. Lies. I can see the doubt in their eyes. I'm at the point, it's no surprise to me. I grew accustomed to a slew of suckers planting sucker seeds. Cross them over like I'm at the rucker. What the fuck you mean? Same movie, just a different lens to enhance the scene. I'm pondering on a plan, I just hope I don't squander it. I can't fail. They don't wanna do nothing but give you hell. I'm one step from the finish line, but I'm running in circles.
One step forward, two steps back. Every time I have a dream, they say I can't do that. It's like a dead end everywhere. Yeah, you trap in a trap. They turn God into
a slave and then a damn lap rat. Running in circles, one step forward, two steps back. Every time I have a dream, they say I can't do that. It's like a dead end everywhere. Or you trapped in a trap. They turn God into a slave and then a damn lap rat. Running in circles.
You didn't know that they was playing the game? Remove the physical ones, apply the mental change. They'll be stronger and they'll last longer. Making these niggas this money aroma. As strong as ammonia, light up the marijuana. Now that we brainwashed and we chasing our tails, till we was born to lose and that we supposed to fail. Look at all our gals, talk about looking at all this ass of mine. Then they screenshot the thirst, my nigga that's asinine. Back in my prime, I used to move major work, but niggas was shooting at me on blocks that we ain't on. Talking about claiming turn. Niggas wanna do dirt, but never did scope the sentence. Thought that he would never tell to you in your cell, and a nigga your co-defendant. Shit get real when that time's evolved. Nigga be facing 30 and ended with 3. Turn me in to get his time dissolved. Man, it feels like I've been running for days, running for miles, man, running in place. Man, I wish I could be running away.
I'm breaking the shackles, I'm taking them bastards. They say it's a highway to heaven, so I'm climbing the ladder. They say money is evil, so I guess I'm shaping the battle. Placed in poverty, it really bothers me, it's making me madder. Well, my castle, just cause I'm rapping, it don't make me a hazard. Making movements just like a Buddhist, but they pushing us backward. Ain't no crickets, we hearing laughter. Never skim through the chapters. If I'm dreaming, just let me capture. Let me sleep until after. That's when I master the things I practice. See a mattress, a casket, you just dreaming, you not believing. Take a crack at the tactics. See, we lacking no satisfaction. These classes we never pass. Don't be clueless, stop all subtractions. We rulers, never been baggage. They say we savages, man. They say violence is what we practice. Bite action, don't deal with static. That dumb shit can't let them have it. We riding deep off in traffic. They swear we moving up back. And I'm sick or tired of these beggars harassing my people. It's time to get at them.
One step forward, two steps back. Every time I have a dream, they say I can't do that. It's like a dead end everywhere. Or you trapped in a trap. They turn God into a slave and then a damn lap rat. Running in circles, one step forward, two steps back. Every time I have a dream, they say I can't do that. It's like a dead end everywhere. Or you trapped in a trap. They turn God into a slave and then a damn lap rat. Running in circles.
Please space and don't hurt him. My circle at the circus of the circles we've been rolling. Picks us up.
Say I can't do that. It's
Yeah,
like
buddy.
everywhere. Or you trap in a trap. They turn God into a slave and then a damn lap rat. Running in circles, one step forward, two steps back. Every time I have a dream, they say I can't do that. It's like a dead end everywhere. Or you trap in a trap. They turn God into a slave and then a damn lap rat. Running in circles.
I know they'd be like, why the hell he skipped that?
We got to.
What's going on, Fifi? I want to go to the chat and read some of these comments, man. And if you see anything that, strikes some conversation, feel free to jump in there. I'm going to go back to Spiritual Rising. She said, that's right. Long as we in this matrix, and I want to play that song too, we will continue to pay bills. We shouldn't have to pay rent. This land is ours, given to us to have a dominion over it, all within in it.
See,
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. That's Spiritual Rising. I'm a sister.
Okay, yeah. Salute to the sis, Spiritual Rising. I don't know that with that statement, I kind of got mixed feelings. Because with the amount of people that are here in every like all civilization, like the people, like I understand, yeah, there were times when people you live off the land and stuff, but we're living in a different time now where I feel like hypothetically, if black people were at the helm in the 50 states, there would still be taxes. Like there's certain things that would still exist that this system has, even if our people were in power. Like that's why I just try to make it make sense. Like when it comes, yeah, we can live off the land and things, but I mean,
Hey, you brought up a point though. I wonder how it would, I mean, I think the reason why you say that is because the system that we was brought up in with taxes. What if that shit never existed? You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know shit about taxes. But I get where you're coming from. You know,
I feel like. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, what she's gonna say? The government what? Because that's what kind of was.
They got to get paid, and I feel like that's what the taxes is for.
Right, and you know, you could. It's subjective as to how they're using them, or are they using them? We sent 80 billion to Ukraine and all. But what I'm saying is, with this amount of people in the society we live in, how do you not tax anything? Now, one thing I do not like is the fact that you could own a house outright and still got to pay for the land. Like
that sucks.
Yeah, so I that, but I'm sure there's a whole long drawn out reason as to why that is. But that right there, I'm saying if I paid 30 years, never remortgage this house that I'm on this land, and I paid completely outright, I'm thinking, yeah, I shouldn't have to. It should be done. Let me pay my electric bill. Let me pay for this water. Yeah, so it's certain things. I just that whenever I present my arguments like that, and even with the reparations, that's the same exact argument I presented when Port talks about reparations. I said, well, hypothetically, if blacks were at the helm, if black people were at the helm and in the position of power in this country, and we were the ones who subjugated other cultures to these different oppressions in the past, and it's still sort of going on, would you give them reparations?
See, that's the thing.
I like to give people that same spectrum. I just like to flip the roles and see what people's answers be. And actually, I got to give it to Port. He said yes. So I give it to him.
He said yes, we would.
He said yes, he would give them the reparations.
I would too, but for first and foremost, I don't think we would have done no one like this. It's not, and that's spiritual people. We don't do this type of shit to other people. We might do it to ourselves.
And that's what he said, and that's when I brought up the Moors. So there's examples of blacks enslaving, whoever, but it's all just in discussion,
Yeah, most definitely. So, Braves Cub, I'm wondering, you don't believe that the world is flat either?
Yeah, he's a flat earther. I've been kind of reading his comments. He's been typing away. I've been reading it too.
I mean, if you want to click the link, feel free, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get through some of these comments. I definitely want to include more people in here. Spiritual Rising say, respect Trump. Get the fuck away from him. Most definitely. Let's scroll. Let's see.
At it again, yeah. The house is yours, but the land belongs to them.
Exactly. And the land don't. They stole this motherfucking place.
Right,
man.
right. And that's what Spiritual Rising said a couple down. No, the land belongs to the U.S. They stole it, pushed us off the reservation. Yeah, so. But I mean, when in war, that's the thing when it's sticky, man. Every civilization has been through war. It's like nothing comes about that's this large without there being some dirt being done. And you can say, well, black people, we're not historic, we're spiritual people, but I mean, every civilization this large has you've had to do something to get this large. You don't just get this large by being spiritual and sitting around in circles chanting and listening to tribal music. You don't just get big by doing that. You don't get power by doing that. It's a certain price, I guess, that comes with it.
Yeah, I just read a comment. It was talking about paying for air, paying for water. Those things should be. We shouldn't be paying for those type of things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, paying for water. Go ahead.
Electricity, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That was created. So when we talking about air, we talking about a power bill.
Right. Well, water. How is water different from electricity though? When you think about it, when it has to get treated, there's treatment plants, water treatment facilities. There's piping, there's plumbing, there's things, there's infrastructure that has to be in place for you to get that.
Hey, I gotta shut my mouth on that one, bro. You're right.
But the air, that I can see that you're gonna be paying for air. That's when it's time. Just just give up. I don't think they're talking about air that we just breathe. I'm just feeling like air that comes in your home that either heats or cool your house down. That's what I'm thinking about now. She's talking about air outside that we gotta breathe with. And I wish a motherfucker would. Man, can you imagine paying for air, bro? They just turned my air. I think Earthquake shit like that, man. In one of his comedy skits, they just turned my air off. Man, see what John Q say.
He said they made a life tax and a death tax. It was all put together in the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 by some elite bankers from Wall Street and English Crown. And, that's one thing that Port City was he when he was naming off the evil, high-powered people.
The elite bankers. Yeah.
He was talking about those damn elite bankers.
Damn, what's it, Rockefellers and all the power. I like a lot of that, man. I like all of that history when it comes to the railroads and how they used to be controlled. The Rockefellers, man. It's just a bunch of interesting things out there that when you really start diving into them, I forgot the company of the two railroad companies that were battling for when the railroads were both first put in place and when they were building them, all the all the different just things that went along in that time. I think it's just crazy.
Yeah. What's going on, True Crime? Appreciate you for coming through. Let's see. What's up, Light Brown Eyes? He said they're going to turn you off. Mid conversation, they turn your damn off. You just stop talking. What's wrong with you? They turn my damn off. Let's go into the next deal.
And new tonight, an armed militia marches outside the suspect's home.
Well protected.
You don't win wars by marching and protesting. You win wars by fighting back.
Yeah, I love y'all.
This is the part where I get to say I told you so. When everybody else said, we were crazy, we was over the top, that we was making stuff up, Brunswick. But a lot of people don't realize that also was the moment that galvanized the start of our movement. It was from Brunswick that the NFAC blew up, and then the next time you saw us was at Stone Mountain. A lot of people act like we popped up at Stone Mountain, and we was in Brunswick first. I'm up in the building. It was the Brunswick issue first.
Some of these people be talking, and they ain't really about that action. We faced with a whole bunch of problems, while the blacks wanna add on baggage. It get cold in the world, motherfucker better get your jacket. If I happen to pull out my ratchet, better hope a motherfucker know magic. Body just wrapped in plastic, body just placed in caskets. If you're black, then your life just has it. Why the fuck our life ain't tragic? GMJ taught a nigga not to be so passive, so I won't be a weak little bastard. And the truth, I'ma seek that faster. No fucking around, we have just entered the chapter. We been lost, not found. Now we got a little bit of backup, cause we coming with numbers and my people starting to stack up. You don't wanna see a nigga act up. Hey Jay, tell them where we at, bro. After the rain, we gotta change. We cannot do it the same. Better say his name, GMJ. But you gon' win this race. Better be a whole brand new day. Goddamn it, we gon' win this case. Give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, 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 GMJ. We don't give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, GMJ. This the way we rockin', bitches only poppin'. We will not let you stop it. Let's go. The ball done dropped, nigga call them cops. I told you that we call them mops. It's about that time, stop that line, and we don't really need no clock.
Locked down, under pressure, with the mask on.
But we back now or never. Motherfuckers better get the ass on. Ain't no sad song, and we won't leave the past alone. Cause the past that made it strong. Cause the mind never made it home. And they wouldn't leave George alone. Don't be playing me wrong, cause I keep me a chrome. Better move it along. I don't mind at all if you want a brawl. I can make a call to my big dog. I'm telling you, dog, this ain't shit talk. When I cross the line, you get picked off. See the man in black, it ain't shit soft. Put the man on mute, but man, we gon' fix y'all. Thought that we would stop, but man, we got pissed off. Days got changed, it's time that we lift off. Old 25 the day that we win, y'all. We don't give a damn about your agenda. We know you got troops, so go ahead and send them. After the rain, we gotta change. We cannot do it the same. Better say his name, GMJ. But you gon' win this race. It'll be a whole brand new day. Goddamn it, we gon' win this case. Give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, 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 GMJ. We don't give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, GMJ. And this the way we rockin'. Bitches only poppin'. We will not let you stop it. Let's go.
They did what they did to him because they thought they could get away with it because they actually believe. They believe. See, when you tell somebody you're racist, you're not just accusing them of something that this is a person who holds a certain frame of mind. They believe they're right. People need to understand that, and this is my approach to systemic racism. That's why it's called systemic. It means that there's a system. It's not just one or two people. Yeah, you got those three people, they got locked up. Okay, fine. But there's a system. In other words, look at the system that had to work for this not to be heard. This was not the first African-American male or female that has been shot, killed because of some racial misperception. We know that. And the rest is history.
Hey,
yo,
I just want to take time out to salute the man, boss man. That's see for people who with the untrained ear, and I don't mean to sound condescending, but for most people they don't really realize what it takes putting these songs together. Boss engineered that song to be like that. In the building, he took that, he downloaded that. I'm just take him through because I know what you did, boss. You ain't slick. He took an interview or audio of JMG with the video, and he matched it up and cut out the parts he wanted and placed them where he wanted, exactly where he wanted, and timed it out. And then he put the time, and then he got the video on. I just wanted to, kind of explain to people. I see you.
Appreciate it. It was a lot of hard work. Like the video that you saw, it was at the end with him talking. I had to match those words up because I had to cut pieces out because I was trying to make it time up and match up with the
right.
beat. And it was some work, bro.
It's some work, and I see that. I've always seen that video, and I've been like, but I ain't never really just peeped how just what it would take type of thing. I'm like, damn, he put in some work on this.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. A lot of people don't understand that. They have to be in music to understand engineering and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so I definitely appreciate that. Nobody never said that, man. That made me feel good, man. Appreciate it. We got the lioness in the building. We were just talking about you earlier. What's going on, Laura?
Yeah.
Peace and blessings, everybody. The chat. I see all the people in it, and I appreciate the people that speak. But I get dizzy going back and forth trying to see who spoke.
Right. Yeah, there was someone else named Miss Lorraine, or no, someone else just Lorraine alone, and I had thought that you changed your name because you didn't have a wrench. But boss, he told me there's another Lorraine, so I was thinking that was you the whole time.
And I wondered, did somebody else do that? I saw my name,
no,
and
it's
yeah, it was confusing. Like I said, I get dizzy going back and forth to see who spoke and who didn't, and that's a lot of work too.
Yeah,
but
it's another one. But what's good with you though?
I've been listening since the beginning. I heard you talking about me, but I was thinking about the electricity, and the electricity was already here. It was just harnessed. and then control. Remember Benjamin Franklin and the key and the lightning,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then it started all the wars between Tesla and Westinghouse and all these people. But it was already here, and we're paying for that too, and that should be free, especially with all the thunder and lightning they've had around here lately and the storms. But I wanted to get back to RJ. And yeah, YJ, you said you heard the same thing. The rumor about what happened to Brianna was because of her boyfriend.
Right.
It's true, but it's the ex-boyfriend. I saw a video where her ex-boyfriend was in jail, and he called a friend and asked her to go to Brianna's house. He tried to tell her where the package was and where she kept all the money. And the girl was saying, I'm paying for your commissary, and you got me doing all this running and everything too. And he said, just go to her house. He told her exactly where the package was and where she kept the money. And it was a video, so somebody was recording him. He was snitching. That was a conspiracy, because she dropped him like a hot potato and had a new boyfriend. I don't know how long they had been separated or anything, but she had a new boyfriend, and she was doing well. Whether she was selling drugs before or not, she was doing well for herself. And that's where the bogus search warrant came from the snitch. From the snitch.
Shit.
I saw the video. Yes, I did.
I want to welcome up our brother Braves Club. He done slid up here, the flat earther. What's going on, brother?
That's him.
Yo, what's up? Microphone check, man. I ain't no flat earth, y'all. I just believe what I believe, man. Don't put me in no blanket shit. I ain't with that program.
Hey, the way you was talking in the chat.
Before we get started, I will tell you, along this journey of research, I've done some reading, but it took me a week and a half to read chapter 1 of Genesis. Going into it with the notion of I've got to unlearn anything I was taught before, definitions of words, everything, right? You got to go into it because it's the English language. This means this, and this, right? Go into it, reading it with comprehension of nothing known prior. Took me about a week and a half. It got to the point where, I was stumbling. I was a couple of scriptures that are stuck on a couple of verses. So I just started to draw the shit out, man. Draw it out. Day 1, draw it out. Day 2, draw it out. Day 3, draw it out. After I kept drawing, it started to paint a picture. Now, what that picture revealed to me is something that was given to me. But I would be one to say that I would agree the earth is round. I'll agree certain parts are flat. I mean, we can go to Nevada and race cars. So the earth is flat, but we do have mountains, valleys, peaks. But one question I do have, though, because a lot of different religions, cultures, races, bunch of people believe that the earth was flooded, right? From the time of Noah. The earth got flooded, right? All this gay shit was going on. All this whatever, sin had to be stopped. Bottom line, it had to be stopped. My first, test batch didn't come out too good. You know what I mean? Maybe a little too much blow up in there, whatever. Didn't come out too good. So all of this water, right? I don't know what the tallest mountain is, Mount Everest, whatever it is. I'm just gonna say it's 10,000 feet above sea level. Right? And we're going to say it's round and it's a ball and it's spinning in midair. So on the opposite side of the world, China, it's also 10,000 feet over there, let's say, right? So we got 10,000 feet of water covering the surface of the planet. Where did that water come from? Where did it go?
So you're saying
that's a good question.
So you're saying
answer it logically.
Well, I want to understand more about the question. You said in this cipher of round earthers. You're saying
No, see, no. No, we're not gonna round earth. There's nothing. Okay, I'm gonna restate the question.
okay, please.
If you believe in the earth was flooded in the time of Noah.
So hold on, because you're speaking from these this kind of religiosity type of thing, and it kind of goes against science. And
Yes.
I'm like, you're debating
Okay,
apples with oranges here, because
Yeah, I understand that.
certain
Well,
religions then won't even be taking part in this discussion. Like,
well, the names may have changed, right? In different religions, a lot of different religions and a lot of different cultures believe that the earth was covered with mostly water at one point. Would it be safe to agree on that without a name, without Noah, Joe, John, or whoever? You know what I mean?
there was water here always, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Correct. But was it to the point where water covered the entire face of the earth?
I wouldn't know the answer to that.
Let me welcome. I got two more panelists, man. We're not gonna leave this conversation, guys. It's a good question. We got my brother John Q up here, just joined us, and my brother Street Doctor in the building. I want to go to John Q first because he just popped up. Then we're gonna go to my brother Street Doctor. What's going on, John?
What up?
Cooling, man. What's good with you, man?
Good. No, loving the conversation. I think it's going to get thick in here because now you got 6 panelists. We need about 3 more. To jump up here
Nah, man.
flood tonight's live with the knowledge that, the wise is going to break down. That's for sure. Definitely. How's everybody doing on the panel?
Cooling, man. I'm glad you joined us.
Good.
What up, Street Doctor?
What they do, bro? Just popping up, man, showing some love. You know what's going on.
Appreciate you for coming through, man. Appreciate
What's
you.
up?
So
How everybody else doing on the panel, man? How y'all doing?
Chilling, bro.
Respect, brother. I see there's 2 gangsters. I heard Brazy the other night with 54 keys, and I listened to Street Doctor every time he put something up. Gangsters.
A whole lot of that.
They'll be playing.
A whole lot of that. You know what's going on, guys.
So we having a discussion about Braves Club and if the earth is round.
I kind of wanted to see where he was going with that.
I'm gonna roll one up before I go anywhere further. Shit.
But nah, because you were.
Oh, I'm doing.
Hey, look, y'all better put your seatbelt on.
But
Okay,
I'm
don't
saying
get mad.
but you didn't. Where'd you go though? You was rolling one up, and then at midway you asked the question, so I think it threw off where you was going.
Hello? Lost the train of thought.
You don't have the yin without the yang. There is no such thing as day without night. So everything exists together. But the question was, if you believe at some point the face of the earth was covered with water up to the tallest mountain, whether the earth is flat, round, square, whatever.
Right.
Where did this water come from? Where did it go?
I mean, if you sit a glass of water in the sun, does the sun not evaporate water, or does heat in general not make water dissipate?
Yes, sir. But I'm looking at the picture of the globe. As far as the globe, outer space, there's a disconnect from us between another planet. There's a disconnect between us and another landmass.
Right.
Other than water.
So would you consider the moon another landmass?
I consider the sun, moon, and stars all within the firmament.
So is the moon another landmass?
Yes.
I can't hear. I see. Hold on.
Firmament.
He didn't answer unless if he did, I couldn't hear him. Did you answer?
Okay. No, I thought he was chopping up.
Yeah, no, it could be choppy. I'm in a choppy area. We got choppers around here.
So would you say that the moon is another landmass?
Yeah, as well as the stars, but separate from ours, yet within the same firmament.
Like Brown Eye said, the water came from the firmament. I want to give my panelists opportunity to speak on this topic. I'm gonna go to John. What's your thoughts on this, John?
And taking a look at the example of the moon, since the pictures that we were given to take a look at to give us knowledge as to its shape, size, dynamics, terrain, and all this other stuff, you know, we have never seen water on desolate land. However, if you were to, in your mind, put water on the moon, water would flow certain places and in different ways, covering different shapes, sizes, dynamics as well. Water has weight to it. So now taking that picture and juxtaposing it to the earth, it makes you think, if the earth is not a full 360-degree sphere, yet rock-like with different depths and cuts and shapes and sizes all around this rock and water, with gravity, the firmament, and all of the other elements that holds everything together, water is a dynamic that's going to flow everywhere and anywhere we can see it. So it lets me know that it gives us the appearance that it is round because it's all together. But take the water off the earth, could it not, in some way, shape, or form, be a reflection of what the moon looks like? Is my point.
I see where you're going with that, my brother. Street Doctor, what's your thoughts on that? I like that, John. What's your thoughts on that, Street Doctor? If you're still with us. Street Doctor probably made you on mute just in case you didn't know. I will come back to the Street Doctor, man. Lorraine, what's your thoughts? Nobody want to speak?
Can you hear me?
There you go. Okay, now we're
Okay. I was thinking about the moon and what NASA has shown us about the moon. And if they had to have special boots and equipment and everything to keep from floating away, what would keep the water there? How would the water flow on the moon?
Well, who said? Is there water on the moon?
No, he didn't. No, John didn't say that.
Okay, yeah, you were saying how hypothetically what would keep? Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So what would hold it in place? And if the water was taken off the earth, would it look like the moon? But there's no mountains on the moon. So there's no mountains on the moon. There's craters. Where'd the craters come from? And then I was taught that the moon was separated from the earth. That came from the Pacific Ocean. That's the deepest ocean.
We get all this information from NASA, man. And the thing about NASA, there's trillions spent on NASA shooting rockets up supposedly and all. I think NASA is the biggest government organization, the biggest waste of money that the government it's like a money pit. Like, what are we getting from throwing trillions in the? I'm just throwing that out there, and that whole NASA situation. If NASA say some shit, I'm gonna instantly look at it sideways because I don't know what y'all got going on. Y'all spending all this money, y'all got all these employees and space bases, and what are y'all doing? Like, I don't know.
Well,
maybe that's my ignorance. But you said what now?
Go ahead, Braves.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you good.
As far as NASA, and we got a new Space Force too. Don't forget that. We got the Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, and Space Force now.
spending trillions.
So that's
of
just
dollars.
Esau. That's just Esau making his nest in the stars.
All
It's
right.
Esau making his nest in the stars. Leading the way, Elon Musk comes from a land stolen from us in South Africa. That's where his wealth comes from. He's not American.
So I want to play the video that RJ sent me for Breonna Taylor, but I want to ask this question. I'm gonna go around the room on this as well, because this is another part that we can't forget about if we either gonna say it's flat or round. So I'm gonna start with you, Braves Club. Do you believe in
It's both.
gravity?
I believe in gravity because I ain't been able to leave yet. This ain't the happiest place on earth, as they say. Now, you know what I'm saying? I might escape mentally to cloud 9, but I still come back down and got to pay some bills. You know what I'm saying? But no, I believe it's both. I believe it's all. I believe it's
So
round,
that
and I believe it's flat, and I believe there's mountains, and I believe it depends on your perspective, what angle you're looking from, and you know, do I believe it's a ball floating in the sky spinning? No, I don't believe it's that.
Yeah, and I would say that's interesting because a lot of flat earthers believe that gravity is a conspiracy in itself.
Well, then again, you know, I've only done research as far as books and paperwork on my own. I'm not a part of any group affiliated studies other than like Bible studies, things like this. So if I can't find it in the scriptures or get it in a book, yeah, you know, I'm not part of no flat earth gang or, you know, organization.
You being honest
any
to
of that.
what yeah, and
You know what I'm
and I respect you for that. I respect you for that. So
YJ,
But at the same time, I understand the way that the system works, and you can have two truths, rather. So there's truth in both sides of the story, but you pin them against each other. Therefore, you need someone to govern this, debate. And here comes the government.
right. And with me,
So
I,
the answer could be true on both sides, but they're going to pin it against each other, and not allow you to connect the two to understand how it's a circle and flat.
right. I think when people question it, I question why they question it. Do you think they're lying, or do you just don't think they know what they're talking about? But if you think they're lying, there got to be a reason why you think they're lying. But
Right.
YJ, what's your thoughts on the gravity?
because there would be a motive behind someone telling you something that's
Exactly.
not true.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it right there, man. I'll blow that shit out the water. So you believe everything Esau tells you right here? You believe everything he tells you is true?
All we saying is okay, if they're telling you something that's not, what's the motive behind just telling us that the world is flat or the world is round instead of flat? Because that shit don't affect none of our daily lives. Like, what was the motive?
Yeah.
Like, my bills is the exact same, whether this motherfucker's the earth, you know.
Well, maybe the motive is not to entertain or enlighten us. Maybe the motive is to keep the other people working together and realize that they have one common goal.
So if we go back
Because of them not
100,000
voting.
years ago, the shoe was on the other foot, and the whole world thought the earth was flat. So there was a motive switch somewhere, and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's you know. So I digress. I digress.
I think research.
I don't know. I mean, it's gotten to the point where, you know, they've whitewashed and retold so many stories in so many different ways that if you were to start to try to get some clarity, there's so much confusion on what's reality and what's not that we get lost in the sauce, and then it just becomes too much, of a headache to think about all these other possibilities. And I'll just go back to fucking Santa Claus and the Christmas tree and this fat ass coming down the street.
There you go. There you go. All the other truths that we were told. Let's go right back to Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
and all that other stuff. I got you in that.
That's easy to accept.
I'm kind of
I believed it. I actually beat up a little Asian kid at school because he told me there was no Santa Claus, and I dipped in the No, I defended what my mother told me. Hey, my mama told me there was a Santa Claus. Nigga say the Santa again.
Thank you.
Hey, there might not be a Santa for Asians, but nigga, I got a Santa. Say there ain't. Boom. And then I go home, right? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. And check this out. This is when the first light bulb went off. And then I go home, I'm in trouble. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm in trouble. It's okay. I'm defending my family. Niggas talking shit about, you know, what our truth is and what's not. Then the story changed. Well, son, you're a little older now, you know, and I don't know if you noticed, the chimney's pretty small. So now the story changes. Now it becomes an explanation of the little white lie. And replace this fairy tale Batman wrote flying around that, you know, a kid might truly believe. Now, okay, the Santa is in all of us. Nigga, you should have said that shit from the start, man. Stop playing.
I want to let John Q give his thought on this, man.
What
you think
really
about it?
must have blown your mind too was that one time, that only one time, it wasn't Macy's and all these different department stores that had the Santa, but that one time during the Christmas holidays, it was you and family strolling into a department store, and hence you saw the black Santa Claus.
As he should.
Must have blown your mind. Oh hell! Now I'm all messed up. You know.
that whole crit, man. I believe it's a marketing scheme, man. That's ain't nothing more than a marketing scheme to make us spend money, get more taxes. That's all I look at it as.
Well, yeah, it's a system. It's a system that's put in play. I had dropped a comment earlier in the chat regarding the Federal Reserve Act, which was signed into law in 1913 by the elite bankers in the Royal Crown. Now, their scheme was not to have the bankers run and own everything, mortgages, homes, land, all that stuff. They didn't really have good control over that, and there was more independence of homes, land, resources, electric, farming, agriculture, everything. So what they basically did in 1913 was get together down in a place called Jekyll Island, right, not far from what is it, Georgia.
Yeah, it's right here by me.
Okay, and 9 of the most elite Wall Street and English Royal Crown people, bankers, financiers. You had the Morgans, you had the Vanderbilts, you had the Rockefellers, you had Amschel Rothschild. You had all these elites get together, write a bill, and kind of sneak it through during the Christmas holidays, where they knew everybody in government was going to be on Christmas vacation, Christmas holidays, and there would only be a small portion of the senators that would be able to vote on this bill and get it passed. So there was a quorum, and it was just enough votes to sneak it in. Their job was to get it passed and then amend it along the way. Hence, is where all the taxes regarding land, all the taxes regarding job employment, all of it. Our money was on gold and silver at the time. And in 33, when FDR was in power, he took all that shit away. And hence the gold and silver, the real money, which was taken out of the system, and hence our debt system came into fruition.
But do you think this many people could live on this land without that system in place?
Well, they knew they could.
But there wasn't that many people as it is now, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no. Obviously now.
That's what I'm saying. With the population growth that has taken place, do you think that the government could even make half of its due, or a 13th of its due. You know what I'm saying? Like, how would, if there wasn't that system in place, how would the government even be able to even open for session?
Well, they did it subtly, like they do everything else. Everything was subtly over time. Over time. They knew they couldn't do it all in one moment. It was subtly changed, little here, little there, little here, just like 9/11. We didn't have TSA at the airports. We didn't have police officers and at the libraries and DSS and all these different places now that they're at. We didn't have any of that. But 9/11, having a tremendous tragedy happen, which was thrown all over the globe from that time, people started, security was the issue. We need more security. And then one lie after the other lie was built on it because it's part of the system they wanted to grow. You see, which of course, obviously had a major contribution to the war they wanted to have.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Well, I want to go ahead and play this piece RJ sent me as far as the Breonna Taylor case about
okay, yeah, this
I guess the boyfriend being responsible. So we gonna check this out, and if y'all don't mind muting up while we play it, so we don't get no type of feedback, appreciate it. Let's do it.
Police shooting of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky. The Justice Department today leveling federal charges against 4 current and former officers connected with her death. Among the charges, officers are accused of falsifying documents to obtain the search warrant of her home where she was shot and killed. Then they're accused of lying to cover it up.
This video is brought to you by TatumReport.com. TatumReport.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you can support TatumReport.com. We got all the best articles that you can find right here. You got the email list. You can join the email list if you want to support through it. Anytime I go live, I'll make a video. Joshua James, that was on Thursday. And then also current police officer Sergeant Kyle Meany, Detective Kelly Goodlett, and former Detective Brett Hankinson. Now, and let me tell you what the charges are. The charges are for civil rights violation of conspiracy and falsifying records and statements on to federal investigators. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced on Wednesday. Now, I have a theory behind this to a certain degree. And I'll say this. I had to issue an apology to Brett Hankinson because I was very upset with how he handled the Breonna Taylor shooting. He was shooting through the windows and stuff, and he ended up getting charged, but he was let off. And I made an apology because after it was explained to me his thought process, I felt that he may have been acting in good faith, although that was probably not the right decision, the way he went about it. Now, this is a thing that I think it's a witch hunt, but I think they have merit here to a certain degree because there were some statements on the affidavit that were not accurate in the Breonna Taylor's investigation. Now, they had a whole slew of stuff to put Breonna Taylor in prison, and also all the other people who are co-conspirators, which she was more of a co-conspirator than everybody else, because the main guy was Jamarcus Glover, and he was the main thug, and they arrested him with the SWAT team at the trap house. They had simultaneous warrants for multiple locations. Breonna Taylor's house was one of them. According to sources that I have, it was a mix-up of words that did not need to be put into the warrant, right? I think they mentioned that there was surveillance that was confirmed by the post office when actually there was surveillance that was had that was enough to get a warrant, but they added in confirmed by the post office. Now, I guarantee you their defense is going to be that it was a mix-up of communication, right? Somebody told them that they verified and it wasn't verified, so they wrote it in the search warrant. I don't think that they should be found guilty. I don't think that they will be found guilty, but this is a witch hunt. Breonna Taylor is dead for one reason. Her boyfriend shot the police and they fired back, and she took an L. That's what happened. On the Tatum Report, TatumReport.com, which is my online news network, TatumReport.com, we have a 40-page document of the investigation into Breonna Taylor. So if you're concerned or you have any questions, all you got to do is go to TatumReport.com and you can put in Breonna Taylor case and you will see 40-page document, exclusive document that we have, jail record, or was it a matter of miscommunication? Meaning that somebody may have said, hey, yeah, I'm going to confirm with the post office, and then somebody else believed that it was confirmed. And so they had mentioned it in a search warrant full of a whole bunch of other stuff. And I want you to understand that. Tatum Report, we have it exclusively. You go to TatumReport.com and then you click on Breonna Taylor. Just search Breonna Taylor. I think I'll have my people put it at the front because people are going to need to see this. You can read the whole investigation because he shot at the police first, and then they ended up determining that it was inconclusive of whether or not he hurt the police. So they claimed that it was relatively self-defense. But his phone calls with other family members and phone calls with other people regarding Breonna Taylor is all transcribed in that document that I'm telling you guys about. So when you read it, you will see that is unequivocal evidence that Breonna Taylor was knee-deep in this conspiracy of selling drugs and all kind of other stuff. I wouldn't call it conspiracy. This drug ring that was going on, which her mother. This is the funny thing. In the document, you'll read it. Her mother is on a jail phone call, saying that we need to get back to the trap house. Pretty much saying the drugs ain't gonna sell themselves. We need to get back to the trap house because they hit the trap house with a warrant. And then after all arrests were made, like 2 weeks later, they arrested people again in the trap house for selling dope. Breonna Taylor's mother is involved, and this is, let me just put the allegedly on there because I don't want nobody suing me, but I have the information, but I'll just say allegedly just in case they want to come after me. Allegedly, Breonna Taylor's mother is involved in like a motorcycle gang. These people, they lied to you and said Breonna Taylor was an EMT. She wasn't. They lied to you to say that Breonna Taylor was randomly sleeping in her bed and the cops got a fake warrant or incorrect warrant or whatever they want to call it, and they just barged in her door without knocking and killed her while she was sleeping in bed. That didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. This was an investigation that went on for a long period of time. Breonna Taylor was also caught up in an investigation with Jamarcus Glover and others after a rental car that she rented had a dead body in it. A young Hispanic male was murdered and was left in the car that she rented. And there's a lot of other stuff that I might have to get my source to come on here, or not my source, but have to get somebody that's privy to the situation to come on and talk about it, because I got people that will talk about it. I just got to make sure legally they can come on and say some of this stuff on the air. But it's so much deeper than what people imagine. And I talked to Sergeant Mattingly, who was shot during this situation. And he told me exactly what they saw at the door. He told me exactly what they did. They did knock on the door. They did announce. There was a witness that heard them announce, that testified to it, or at least he wrote in a statement that he did. He was afraid to follow up because they were afraid of Breonna Taylor's family. Not necessarily that guy, but I'm assuming that the other people were afraid of their family because her family was well known in that area. She was guilty of being involved with a thug. And they had every right to go in her house. They had all the evidence they needed. And this is a nuance in the affidavit for the warrant. And that's what they're trying to hang them up on. The bottom line is that they want justice, quote unquote, for Breonna Taylor. You know, I'm not saying justice was served because I don't necessarily think she deserved to die. But when you shoot at the police and you're involved in this criminal activity, bad things happen to you. You become victim of things that you may not intend to be a victim of. When you got your boyfriend and when you go look at social media pictures, they have guns and drugs and all kind of stuff. Her boyfriend who shot the police, they couldn't find evidence that he had committed crimes. But also, it took them a long time to get into the apartment after Breonna Taylor was shot. He didn't come out immediately. There is no evidence to disprove that he may have flushed drugs down the toilet. After she shot and everything went on, he didn't come out for a very long period of time. He could have been flushing drugs, hiding evidence. And people were saying, well, there was no money, there was no drugs found in her apartment. We don't know if he flushed the drugs. There was other things found at the apartment. And let me add this to the investigation because people are going to come out with all kind of theories, but you guys are going to be up to speed on it. One of the things that people don't understand is that after Breonna Taylor was shot and killed, it turned into a homicide investigation. Therefore, the prioritizing of searching for drugs and indicia of a crime was thrown out of the window as they proceeded with the warrant for investigation or an investigation into the homicide that occurred. And people may not know that. So after they did that and they were able to come back, you know, they probably didn't, all the evidence could have been destroyed. It was a moot point at that juncture.
All right, I just want to pause it right there, and we're gonna do a little commentary now because a lot that I'm hearing right now is news to me. And I'm gonna start with you, Miss Lorraine, and we'll work our way around. What's your thoughts on what you just heard? Did you know about all this?
The first thing that got me was the shirt he had on, MAGA. And if he's not a cop, something is wrong with that story. Grandmaster Jay investigated that. He put a lot of information out there about the case and what went on. We saw videos where they kicked in the door. There were neighbors that said they didn't announce who they were. And he sounds like he's part of the blue code. He's covering for the police. Something's not right about that. Like I said, the brother looks all right, but the shirt he got on is foul to me. Ultra MAGA? No.
RJ said he's a former LE, but I'm assuming
the blue code.
Yeah.
So he's sponsoring the blue code. That's what he's talking about, making excuses for what they did. And color didn't have anything to do with it. And like I said, I heard and saw a video. I don't know nothing about her mama being part of no motorcycle gang. But see, to cover themselves up, they find dirt. They stack charges. They keep a paper trail on people just to cover themselves. You know, Donald Trump was like that. He got something on somebody that covers for him. They'll never dispute him because he's got something on him. You know, blackmail, extortion, whatever you want to call it. But this man here, no, he's a brother, but he ain't. He's colored. That's a colored man.
Jay, what's your thoughts, bro?
Well, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
John, what's your thoughts, brother?
Well, the Tatum report, Brother Tatum here, talking on on his show, that's all new to me. I'm like, okay, you just messed me up.
Yeah, he did.
You know, from a lot of what you and I talked about regarding the Taylor case.
Right.
You know, and now with all these different elements that he's discussing and explaining, now I got to turn around and go to his website and get that 44-page report to see. Okay,
well, I guess RJ said that. I guess the document he was talking about, he had. I guess he could drop it in the chat. He said, but I never.
He put it in there.
Oh, he put it. Yeah, he put it. Okay. So
Yeah.
I guess he put it in the in the chat. What document he's speaking of?
Right. No, I just see that. Just saw that he emailed me too. So I'll be looking into that. But I'm like, what?
That shit blew my mind too, John.
Oh man.
I'm gonna welcome Shayna to the panel. She done came up here, and we'll get over to Braves Club. What's your thoughts, Shayna?
First, I had to take a Xanax because I have a. I was gonna go like show my face. Then I was like, my hand shaking. I'm not gonna even speak on this allegedly. So I just want to talk facts because he's talking a bunch of allegedly.
Yes.
I just want to say, because I'm not going to speak on Breonna Taylor since this just happened today, and I haven't read documentation and I always believe in the facts, like the boots on the ground facts. So I just want to say, oh Jesus,
Tell it. Tell it. You sound like you're gonna come with something. Go ahead, tell it.
Yeah, I just want to say this. Just three simple things. First, when I worked for CID as their administrator, there's protocols set in place. Protocols must be followed. You just and I've walked through boots on the ground with the CID when we go in a building and we take a room. That did not happen. It did not happen. If you ever see how SWAT teams work, that didn't happen. So I'm just telling you what I have seen, what I have experienced, what I have done with boots on the ground. The protocols were breached. Fact. He said a 40-page document. I did a congressional about my own case that I had to deal with of 27 years, and it was 426 pages. So 40 pages of a piece of paper means absolutely nothing, ultra mega. 426 pages I've done by myself. So 40 pages is nothing. And this, look at the time span that now this information is coming out. When I did my 426 pages against the military, it took 27 years for it to come out. So I cannot stand when people say this is what happened and she did this. And the facts is the only thing that we're supposed to be looking into. Facts. We're supposed to be looking into the facts. And okay, I have a neighbor next door to me. He's a Capitol Police. The next neighbor next to me, she's whatever they are, retired military. I'm retired military. Facts is that we have our own surveillance. Facts. If somebody comes to my house, we were just talking the other day. I was talking to my kids. If someone comes at a no knock, think of the word. That means no knock. Just come in my house without announcing themselves. I give them 13 seconds. 13 seconds. And it takes me 3, but I give them 13. So that's facts. As a 27-year weapons specialist, that's facts. If you come to my home and it's 13 seconds later, facts, I'm going to take you out. I don't care who you are. If you don't have a warrant and you not knocking on my door, the facts is that I have the castle doctrine to take you out and protect my family. Facts. So I don't even know where this guy is coming from. He has an agenda. I don't understand why he's saying, well, I do understand why, but I'm not going to even get into all that. But I'm just saying, when we're talking facts, we should talk facts.
Right.
So what trips me out and what got me questioning what he's talking about, if all his information is true on what he's saying, why wasn't, I don't know, I didn't watch the case. Was this presented in the original court case when they all took this to court? Because why would the federal government pick this up and arrest these 4 officers if they knew all of this? And I'm pretty sure they knew everything that he just told us.
Because
it's true.
Bureaucratic. That's called bureaucratic red tape. And I'll give you an example. I had a major in San Antonio get shot in the head. His head was blown off. A personal friend of mine. His head was blown off. It did not make the news. He's a major in the United States Army. His head was blown off. They said facts. The facts that came out first was they said he was going, think about what I'm saying, visualize. He's going to sit in his bed. And exactly as he's sitting in his bed in an apartment complex, a bullet went through 4 walls and hit him and blew his head off.
Let me let Brave speak because he keep falling off. I know he want to get on here and say something. I ain't gonna cut you off, YJ. But go ahead, bro. I know you've been trying to speak. Go ahead, man. Like he having some type of issue here.
Yeah, I think he was having an issue.
Yeah, he's having an issue. He out there in them sticks. Go ahead, YJ.
But all I would ask is that when listening to said video that we just listened to, did we have an open mind when we listened to it? Like I just don't like when people get this one thing and have this one track mind type of thing. And I'm not saying that you had as Sister Shayna that joined the panel, and welcome to the panel. I'm just saying, are we even open to listen, just to hear what's being said and digest it? Because that's one thing I don't like is when people, you have these blind, like, you know how they put them things on horses, you know, to give them to block out the peripheral type of thing. Are we at least being open to what he's saying? That's I guess that would be my question.
I'm very, you know, like I said, you know, I truly do believe in to love yourself is not to hate anyone else. I'm very open-minded. You know, even when they talk about the biker gangs, you can go to my Facebook page. I got pictures with the keepers and all them. And I don't care about none of that. I'm just saying, is he being open-minded when he's speaking? I'm very open. I'm very, because I can distinguish and compartmentalize things, but you still have to use facts. You got to use facts. You can't just come and not, we have to remember everything, the plethora of things that has gone on in the last year, 2 years, 3 years almost since this has happened. Think about that. Think about what has gone on behind the scenes. Why would the federal government pick up a case?
Exactly.
Why would the federal government pick up a case? Because everybody in the federal government, because this is what a lot of people don't see. Everybody in the federal government is not corrupt. Everyone is not corrupt. You may have these need to know things in the federal government, but everybody in the federal government is not corrupt. I was in the military 27 years. I was not corrupt. You know, I got out because they said Shauna won't break with the truth stuff. She got to stop that. Come on. So everybody is not corrupt, but everybody is not, and everybody is not on the right track either. When I left the military, and I mean, I never even told anyone this. Well, I told the judge, but when I left, and when they asked me, Shauna, why are you leaving? I was an advisor for the United States Army Reserve System. Advisor to the reserve guy, Tally. And they said, Colonel, he said, Shauna, why are you leaving us? And I said, because it's getting fucked up. Kids killing themselves 2 at a time a month in our unit. 2 at a month in our unit. Do you know that we have the highest suicide rate in the military in the whole country? Now y'all know that. So I said, it's fucked up. And I didn't say, oh, because it's messed up. I said, because things is fucked up.
I do agree with that statement.
I said, it's fucked up.
Also, postal workers.
Absolutely. Linus, I think you want to say something, Linus?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. I agree with her. And as far as having an open mind, I've been watching. I watched the whole case from the beginning till they just arrested those 4 people. So I'm familiar with it. And like I said, he's following the blue code. And 40 pages, that's nothing. That's nothing. And I feel like I'm open-minded about it enough to have seen enough and been following it all along to not fall for that mess. Not what he was trying to sell. Mm-mm.
And to respond to you, YJ, you can go ahead and speak your piece. I am open-minded to what he's saying, but at the same time, it's just the fact that he is a former blue guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know what his intentions are. I don't even know where this guy's from. Hell, he could be from Louisville. I don't know. But
I guess RJ's the fact that what?
The fact that he's speaking so strongly about things that, like I said, I didn't watch the whole entire case, that I didn't even know about. He's speaking about these things. Like, what is your intentions, bro? Like, at first it didn't seem like he had no type of emotion that she died, and then he finally said, well, I don't think she deserved to die. That shit right there was so weak. That statement he used was so weak to me. So I don't really think he give a damn if she died or not. He's speaking on her mom and what she said about the trap house and all that. Okay. Again, I knew none of this. But damn, this young lady lost her life. And from what they told us, they had no right to be there. So even if they were dealing drugs out of that house, they had no right to be there. It's just like when the officers forget to Mirandarize the suspect. He can get off from that shit. Same thing with them. They had no right to be there, and they took this young lady's life. Fuck what her boyfriend did, and I still stand strong on that. Fuck what he did. You had no right to be there. So if they were selling dope, and they had if they was drug kings, drug lords, you had no right to be there. You can go ahead, my brother. I'm sorry, I'm getting crunk up right now.
Nah, you good. I kind of was wondering what John Q had to touch on it, because I don't follow these things as close as y'all do, so I'm kind of taking a back seat, just looking at things from the outside looking in. So,
John,
appreciate that. And that's why I said, wow, what is this? 40 page document. Okay, well, I need to lay my eyes on it. And I have to agree with what Ms. Shana had talked about. If protocol was breached, which I feel that it had been, a warrant that was written with the wrong address or whatever have you there, how that was approved or not approved, who hand wrote what on the document, I go to Mr. Boss Blake and say, yeah, if they weren't supposed to be there, guess what?
Right.
They weren't supposed to be there.
It don't matter what what you dig up on them, the facts still remain.
Right. And I go right back to what Ms. Shana said. Yeah, the facts. And to take a look at the timeline, which is the most important thing, all this new stuff now coming out almost 3 years later, give or take, you have to go back and say, okay, where did this start from? And whether this new information has any relevancy whatsoever, fits to say, okay, there were a lot of moving parts over the last 3 years that has now changed the dynamics of this case. Was there a federal investigation going on previous to this incident? Because now it gives you the impression that there may have been.
And they're not going to immediately come out. They're not going to immediately, everything that the Fed has is not going to immediately be out there readily available for the public. And another thing, what the national media gives you, they're gonna give you tidbits. I'm under the guy. I think under the guys that they're gonna show you only certain things. Only certain things is gonna get let out in that national media. So when we get a person like him who we just seen, one of the things that makes me kind of keep an open mind when looking at something that he is talking about. One of the things that keeps me having an open mind towards content creators like this is because I know that that's how I feel. I feel like the national media isn't going to tell you everything. They're going to feed you things. So when I see something like this, I'm definitely going to take it into account. And then that BUT word comes into place. I'm still going to ultimately look at it as just simple logic and what makes sense, to go back to earlier.
Right. Well, we got our brother back on the panel. Let's see if he is good to go. Braze, you there, bro? What I want to do, I guess he's still having issues. We're gonna watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll do our final comments on this particular video and move on from there. So let's take a listen to see what he continues to say. If you don't mind, please mute up.
Ron from San Antonio, Texas. Welcome to the Austin Tatum Show.
Thank you for having me. I just have one quick question for you. It's what are the rules of engagement when the police show up at the door of a residence and they're fired upon, what are the rules of engagement? Are they able to shoot back, not knowing who's inside the residence?
Yeah, so your question that's a great question. There's a multitude of explanations. So all warrants aren't created equal. So if you get a warrant to enter into somebody's residence by force, they will grant you a warrant to barge into somebody's residence, or you can get a no-knock exception, which you can then use to barge in without knocking or without warning. Sometimes they have a warrant for a person's house and they won't barge in. It's too unsafe. They'll try to get a warrant for the person's house. They'll come. They'll try to negotiate with them. It depends on the level of the criminal. Now, if you're fired upon outside of the residence and you have no access to see who's inside and you have no knowledge of who's inside, you cannot fire back. You have to egress, you have to take cover, and then they'll call out the SWAT and then hostage negotiation, and then it'll go from there on. If you are in the residence conducting a warrant and somebody fire at you, you have the right to return fire in order to preserve life.
So what happened in the Taylor case? Were they inside the residence or outside the residence?
Yep. So in the Breonna Taylor case, they obtained a warrant with a no-knock exception, right? And so let me explain this. The no-knock exception, you can choose to use the no-knock exception or you can choose not to use the no-knock exception. They were granted multiple warrants for different locations, and all of them came with the no-knock exception because they were looking for a specific person called Jamarcus Glover. Whichever resident he was in, they were going to use the no-knock exception with the SWAT team and execute the warrant. Breonna Taylor was a low-level criminal, and so they did not use the no-knock exception. They decided to knock and announce and then force entry. And once they forced entry, as soon as they got into the door after knocking and announcing, they were shot by Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. They were shot at by Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. Sergeant Mattingly was struck in the leg. He went down in the doorway. They returned fire after he shot at them. Unfortunately, Breonna Taylor was in the middle of that gunfire exchange, and she passed away.
So they were inside the residence when they were shooting. The police
They were in the door.
They
were in the doorway of the residence. I think they may have broke the plane of the doorway when they encountered fire from Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. So they were legally in the bounds to return fire on the subject.
Because they were in the doorway. And
Well,
they
just
could
because
see
the
who
fact-
they were shooting at.
Right. And another thing is that they necessarily didn't have to be in the doorway. If they had the door open and they hadn't break the threshold of the doorway, the guy still couldn't shoot police officers in that moment. So the fact that he shot them, they had a chance to return fire. It was a, it's a legal, it's somewhat of an obligation to return fire on them to protect the life of other people. And unfortunately, Breonna Taylor was in the middle of that. And so they can't make the bullets go around Breonna Taylor, so she ended up getting hit.
Right, but what if there had been other people in there? Were they still in their legal right to return fire?
Yes. It would have been unfortunate because technically when you shoot a person, you have to hit the target. So there's a grace period from that, right? You shoot at the target, maybe the bullets go through and hit other people. That's kind of goes with the territory. They can return fire. Some rounds may be missed, but as long as they're firing at a target in which they believe is a threat, they can then return fire.
Damn, as soon as I got them come back, he falls off. I seen him moving around, so I wanted to bring him up here. You good, Braze? The reason why I stopped it is a couple of things I wrote down that I noticed that he was saying. I've heard enough. RJ did. I'll put the link in the chat if y'all want to go watch it for yourself, but I think I've heard enough on what he's saying. First, let's start with a no-knock warrant. I don't know who created that warrant, that type of warrant, but that's a dangerous ass warrant, and you have to understand. Now, of course, if you have a trap house, a drug house, then of course, there are probably going to be guns there. But regardless if it's a trap house or somebody just living in their home, and they went into the wrong home. Let's say it wasn't Breonna Taylor's home. Let's say it was Donald Trump's home. And he hears somebody kicking his goddamn door. He's strapped legally. And he busts at them. Remember, they're at the wrong home. he shoot one of them, they have the right to shoot back. This man has the right to protect his home. But you come in here and kill him or kill his wife? Tell me where that fucking makes sense, man. That's not right. That's not right at all. Come on, man. Braves, you there, bro? Still on mute. Come off mute, man. Take yourself off mute. You're still on mute, bro. We can't hear you. Hit the mute button.
Yeah, the mute is off.
Now you're off. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, man, they keep knocking me out, man. They don't let me play in the sandbox too much.
What's your thoughts, bro?
Man, to be honest with you, I don't even know where we at, man. I've been chopping in and out here and there. But as far as, for the most part, Breonna Taylor, past is the past, I mean, I don't know. I can run into a grocery store and shoot old folks and make it to a Wendy's and the jail cell safe, but I can't sleep on the couch. Just let's make it all make sense. It's all their system. It's designed by them. It's for them. We can't get that confused.
Right. So I want to give everybody an opportunity to speak their piece on it. We're gonna start with you, Shayna. What's your thoughts on what we just heard?
Well, first and foremost, they do have the Castle Doctrine in Kentucky, because I took notes too. And secondly, the SWAT team was there, so there's protocols for that. If you watch the videos, they're even asking what is going on here. And if you've ever seen a SWAT take over, you know that this is not that's not protocol. Third, when you saying that it's the past is a pass, if that was my 25-year-old daughter, it ain't gonna never be a pass. So they did have the right to protect themselves. And if you've ever seen a no-knock executed, which I have, that is not how it's done. That's not how it's done. And again, the Castle Doctrine was in place in Kentucky and still is today. So the young man was there to protect his family, and that's legal. No, it's just too many other factors. And then lastly, I'm sorry, I had boots on the ground and I seen where she got killed. Boots on it's bigger than what they're saying. And remember that they did use the word civil problem. It's a civil rights. That's now new. If that's a nuance, that's new. They weren't saying that before. They weren't using the word civil rights.
Appreciate you.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm cool now.
All right. Linus, what's your thoughts? Uh-oh. I hit your mute. I'm trying to unmute you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I muted you. Go back. You can unmute yourself.
He kept calling her a low-level criminal. Like she was a rabid dog. She was a rabid dog, but she wasn't that bad yet. But she was a low-level criminal, like she wasn't an important person. And they've gone into homes, apartments, and being the wrong ones, and had old women having heart attacks, or women in the shower that they're pulling out with no clothes on. They have to give them something to cover up with. There's just a lot of foul stuff out there that, like Brazy was saying, the system is set up for them, by them. And as things change, they change it to suit them, to protect themselves. And that, like I said, that 40 pages, that's nothing, because I've watched the whole thing from the beginning. And a lot of the body cams were shown too. And like I said, there was some investigating being done by INFAC. So I've been watching that from the beginning until, they arrested those four supposedly peacekeepers. And it's sad. And like Papa Duck was saying, if we don't stop going along and being complacent with it, it's never going to change. They say, I'm going to vote for me and I'll set you free. Donald Trump said, what have you got to lose? What do we gain? What have we gained? Nothing. So, unity is the key. Everybody needs to be on the same accord, and the ones that don't want to go in the right direction, let them go. Let them go. Let them be coons. You know, let them be Stephen Fetches. That's, you know, and Jemima. You know, they've always got a negative place to put us in to keep us at work for them, and we have to stop accepting that and do for ourselves. Make your garden and stop buying this, this genetically modified food, and maybe our minds will change too. Maybe we'll stop following all that, But that's it. It's all sad, and it's all over now, and that part is over, but it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet, and I thank you for letting me come up, and I'll put peace and blessings to the chat, and hope nobody was offended, and I'll see you next time.
Appreciate you, YJ. I want to hear your thoughts, but did you notice he did state again? They obtained a warrant.
Right.
Now, we heard from the federal government that it wasn't legit, but he got so much else to say defending the boys in blue. What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, you gotta take it. Take it for what it is, man. He's on YouTube. He's a YouTuber, so I mean, hey. Gotta make a little coin somehow. But yeah, I really don't have too much to say. I hate to be like that, but man, I really don't have too much to add to the conversation at hand like that. I just want to say salute for having me on the panel. Black Sector Mafia music coming soon. If you ain't supporting, then I got to think of something to rhyme with support.
I got you. My brother used to tell me this all the time. If you ain't supporting, you ain't important, my nigga.
Ah, there you go. That was a bar. Boom. Flex bar.
That came from Beans, bro. That came from my brother Beans, man.
Hey, yo, that's the hook right there. Nah, but hey, I'm gonna get at y'all there, man. Salute Shayna, Miss Lorraine, the Godfather John Q. I had to get John Q in space when in these type of conversations. I don't like to speak too much of John Q in the building. I let that man get his bars off, But nah, man. Salute to the panel. Salute, boss. Let me grace the panel, man. I'm
salute
out.
to you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. All right, John Q. What's your thoughts on what we just heard, my brother?
One word. Mistakes. You take a look at this case as you can remember it, because it was some time when it did occur. My mind was taking a look back at maybe one or two body cam footages that did come out on the case. I remember how they breached that door. I think it was about 5 officers that were outside that door. They had one breach, 2 to cover both left and right, 2x2 formation at that door, guns welded. And as soon as that door breached, that's when they started yelling in, and then gunfire took off very quickly. So if the man is in the house, which he was, protecting his family, not knowing who was on the opposite side of that door, well, he was defending his family. No mistake there, because we would have all done it. Mistake I'm seeing is what the police did, what they failed to do. And I think going back to Ms. Shayna in retrospective protocol, they should have backed out of that whole doorway, knowing that they couldn't see, and most likely Brianna's boyfriend, he couldn't see, or he saw the shadows in the doorway. But with gunfire automatically going off at the sound of one shot is what I remember. And I remember saying, damn, they made a big mistake here. Big mistake, because they kept shooting and shooting and shooting, not even thinking whether there were children in the house. So now they not only breached the home and the security of that home, but they also, went against their oath, and that's to protect and serve. They weren't looking to protect anybody in that house other than themselves from being fired upon. I mean, look at these guns. If I'm not mistaken, that was the video that Boss Blake and I had seen. I think if you're playing,
Yeah, I just got it on mute. I just let you talk. I played it.
Yes, where they breached that door and they should have backed way up out of there, but they didn't do it. So they made some mistakes. Protocol was broken. They increased the chances of more people, endangering more people, and getting shot and being in the line of fire. Look how dark that area is. Come on. This is at nighttime. Right. And all these guys are outside that door, no more than 40 inches across, 8 feet high, shooting through a doorway, not knowing what they're shooting at or if they hit anything. That's why I said mistake. So yeah, I'll definitely go back and take a look at some things and put some more perspective on it going forward. But I appreciate you having me on the panel with some great guests. I enjoyed the conversation, and thank you, RJ, for sending me that email. I guess it's going to be part of an upcoming talk. Also with Mr. Boss Blake, my brother, Miss Shayna. It was a pleasure meeting you, Brother Braze, and YJ, and of course, Miss Queen Lorraine. It was just a great panel tonight. Thank you for having me, boss.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for coming.
Right.
It was awesome to have everybody here tonight. I haven't been live in a while, and I guess what aggravated me tonight to go live, I think it was worth the while to be here with my people and let's discuss this, because at the end of the day, we're here. Well, at least I know most of us are here to try to make life an easier place to live until we leave. And it's just sad that there's so many people that still just don't get it. They just want to see the negative or the bad in things. They don't want to be understanding. One thing that you are here as a man when you get married is you have to learn understanding. You have to learn understanding for a woman. And that don't matter if you white or black. If you can humble yourself and have understanding for another human being who may have not even went through what Black America went through. What's so hard about having understanding on how we feel? Yeah, the things that happened to our ancestors, yeah, they gone. They ain't happened to our people, but it seems like they're trying to recreate that scene again. And people don't understand that people are tired of that shit, man. People get tired of that shit. Like, I know I don't bother nobody. But when you start purposely trying to push my buttons to get a reaction out of me, everybody has a breaking point. And it's getting old, man. It's getting so old. I wish we could put all you racist motherfuckers on the island with all the serial killers. You live with them motherfuckers. Provoke them. That's who you should provoke. See how long you survive. We ain't do shit to you. How we was chose, I always question it. But I know one thing. At the end of the day, when you take your last breath, you know who you got to go see, right? Leave all your gifts at the altar, because you won't be walking through those gates if you don't. A lot of people don't care about their actions while here on earth, but they're going to expect to walk through them gates. Nah, you can cancel that. You can cancel that. The wicked will be left behind. And I don't care what you believe in. That's facts. Whatever religion you believe in or whatever God you believe in that. Leave other people alone. Remember, whether you believe it's positive energy or negative energy, karma is real. It's coming back. Like my buddy said, it has no expiration date. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. Because you know the next time you bother somebody when they wasn't bothering you, that might be the last time you ever open your mouth. Because people are fed up with your shit. I'm gone.
And new tonight, an armed militia marches outside the suspect's home.
Well protected, well protected.
You don't win wars by marching and protesting. You win wars by fighting back.
I love y'all.
This is the part where I get to say I told you so. When everybody else said, you know, we were crazy, we was over the top, that we was making stuff up, Brunswick. But a lot of people don't realize that also was the moment that galvanized the start of our movement. It was from Brunswick that the NFAC blew up, and then the next time you saw us was at Stone Mountain. A lot of people act like we popped up at Stone Mountain, and we was in Brunswick first. I'm up in the building. It was the Brunswick issue first.
Some of these people be talking, and they ain't really about that action. We faced with a whole bunch of problems, while the blacks wanna add on baggage. It get cold in the world, motherfucker better get your jacket. If I happen to pull out my ratchet, better hope a motherfucker know magic. Body just wrapped in plastic, body just placed in caskets. If you're black, then your life just has it. Why the fuck our life ain't tragic? GMJ taught a nigga not to be so passive, so I won't be a weak little bastard. And the truth, I'ma seek that faster. No fucking around, we have just entered the chapter. We've been lost, not found. Now we got a little bit of backup, cause we coming with numbers and my people starting to stack up. You don't wanna see a nigga act up. AJ, tell them where we at, bro. After the rain, we gotta change. We cannot do it the same. Better say his name, GMJ. You gon' win this race. It'll be a whole brand new day. Goddamn it, we gon' win this case. Give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, 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 GMJ. We don't give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, GMJ. And this the way we rockin'. Bitches on the poppin'. We will not let you stop it. Let's go. The ball done dropped, nigga call them cops. I told you that we call them ups. It's about that time. Stop that line. And we don't really need no clock.
Locked down, under pressure, with the mask on.
But we back now or never. Motherfuckers better get their ass on. Ain't no sad song. And we won't leave the past alone. Cause the past that made it strong. Cause the mind never made it home. And they wouldn't leave George alone. Don't be playing me wrong. Cause I keep me a grown. Better move it along. I don't mind at all if you want a brawl. I can make a call to my big dog. I'm telling you, dog, this ain't shit talk. When I cross the line, you get picked off. See the man in black, it ain't shit soft. Put the man on mute, but man, we gon' fix y'all. Thought that we would stop, but man, we got pissed start dates got changed. It's time that we lift off. 25 the day that we win, y'all. We don't give a damn about your agenda. We know you got troops, so go ahead and send them. After the rain, we gotta change. We cannot do it the same. Better say his name, GMJ. But you gon' win this race. It'll be a whole brand new day. Goddamn it, we gon' win this case. Give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, 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 GMJ. We don't give a damn what your people say. Everybody yelling out GMJ, GMJ. This the way we rockin'. Bitches only poppin'. We will not let you stop it. Let's go.
They did what they did to him because they thought they could get away with it because they actually believed. They believe. So when you tell somebody you're racist, you're not just accusing them of something that this is a person who holds a certain frame of mind. They believe they're right. People need to understand that, and this is my approach to systemic racism. That's why it's called systemic. It means that there's a system. It's not just one or two people. Yeah, you got those three people, and they got locked up. Okay, fine. But there's a system. In other words, look at the system that had to work for this not to be heard. This was not the first African-American male or female that has been shot, killed because of some racial misperception. We know that. And the rest is history.